Good evening to you. So, Prime Minister's questions. Usually a tad stagey and, don't tell anyone, even boring. Not today. Today it all got a bit tasty. Here's Alexander Boris de Pfeffel Johnson going what you could call the Fool Johnson.
Cutting the costs of transport for working people, Mr. Speaker, by delivering reforms while they're out on the picket line, literally holding hands with Arthur Scargill, Mr. Speaker. That's them. It's worse than under Jeremy Corbyn. This is a government that is taking this country forward. They would take it back to the 1970s.
Keir Starmer, meanwhile, sometimes sounds as if he doesn't quite mean it. He sounded like he meant it today.
He can't help himself. There's a huge problem facing the country, and all he's interested in doing is blaming everyone else. Can't he hear the country screaming at him, "Get on with your job"?
It was almost as if they both thought they had an audience, a real audience, not the farmyard tribute bands sitting on the benches around them. And of course, you're way ahead of me already, aren't you? The audience is the electorate, particularly in Wakefield and Tiverton, where there are by-elections coming tomorrow. Things are getting real. And they're going to get a lot more real over the rest of the summer if these strikes spread. I'll be talking about that later. It's even possible that this is the issue which could allow Boris Johnson, despite everything, to fight and to win a general election. Let me explain. There's no evidence yet that the public is wildly against these strikes. An opinion poll out tonight shows 35% in favour, 35% against. But these are early days and opinion can swing fast. The more unions get involved, the stronger the Labour connection. Johnson is constantly looking for issues to skewer the Labour Party and to stop fellow Tory MPs trying to chuck him out of the nearest window. The worse things get, the angrier the country is, the more he will be hinting, I promise you, about calling an early general election. Now, there are good Tory arguments against going early. The most important one is that because constituencies are being redrawn, if Johnson waits until after December 2023, he will effectively be defending a majority not of 80 as now, but of, I'm told, 102. That is worth having. Also, the Tories are nowhere near ready in choosing their candidates. But all that said, if Johnson thinks he's going to win, then he might as well go anyway. And even if he doesn't, merely hinting that he's about to is a very effective way of stopping nervous Nelly Tory MPs trying to do him in. A snap election is the kind of threat he can pull out and wave over their heads whenever he needs to. So, friends, I think all of that explains what happened this afternoon, why Johnson sounded as if he'd had a cupful of cooking brandy on his cornflakes, and why Starmer, who I'm sure has gotten onto all of this, sounded like a fired-up political leader, not a disappointed lawyer in a quiet county court. One final thing. I have to say that the most effective political communicator in the country in the last 2 days is neither of the above. It's the firebrand RMT leader Mick Lynch. Watching him calmly doing over various critics, he sounds like a working-class natural. I would pay good money to see him and Boris Johnson nose to nose.